welcome back to the Southern Snack, where life is too short to be serious. Now, I just said that, and I'm probably feeling like I'm in the most serious mood right now. We're not going to break into that just yet. If you really are here and you like listening to me talk about myself and where I'm at today with life or whatever, at the end of the video, we'll get there. But, you know, I've just been reflecting a lot over the past week, and then this weekend especially. And there's a lot I kind of just need to break down. But yeah, I mean, I love this. I love doing reviews, and it's a passion. But there are things in my life where if it came to a point where I had to make a choice between this or that, you know, I would sacrifice this for a few things. So we're not in the Crumbl reviews, but just the thought on things is like maybe at some point it might just become all Crumbl reviews. It could end up that way. So we're not there yet, but that's just long-term thoughts. So anyways, I know y'all want the cookies more than anything. Most of y'all do. So I ask that you do subscribe and like and comment on this video. Again, your feedback always appreciated, especially if you watch the end of the video. I'll have some burning questions, and I'll be asking for some observations from you guys. So all right, so we're gonna jump into this real quick. Only 4 cookies, which I like it that way. It's simple, it's, you know, more straightforward. There's less quality issues. It's all right there at the tip of our fingers. So, one new cookie this week. Good to see a new one. Lemon cheesecake. Man, oh man. So it looks like the stuff that they use for the lemon bar, which we have not had in a long time. And then they take, you know, the graham cracker base and the cheesecake. And their cheesecake cookies are always super good. So I'm very optimistic that this is going to be a really good one. But this is the new one of the week. And it's a chilled cookie. And it was hard for me to break. So anyways, we're going to try it. There is plenty of lemon in that, without a doubt. That kind of overpowers the cheesecake part of it. Yeah, it's still really good. I like the combination of zestiness, sweetness, and then that graham cracker cookie. It's all good. It's very good. In a way, it does make my mouth feel a little bit numb. I can't explain. It might just be the degree of sweetness. But I like it. It's very lemony. It's weird to think of a lemon cheesecake because it's not the go-to kind of cheesecake flavor. But it's a nice combination of different types of cookies they've had. And I have an appreciation for it. I give it an 8. I really like it. I like the lemon flavor, but I just think it's a tad too much. I was hoping we could get a little bit more of the cream cheese, the cheesecake aspect of it, which is weird for me to say because usually I like to roll with less cream cheese. So anyways, Rocky Road. This one often struggles with the marshmallow part. It's always a good cookie because you've got the almonds and you've got the chocolate, and that really comes together well. It's just that marshmallow needs to have a bigger punch, and it doesn't seem to do as well with that. But we're gonna get a piece and talk about it as always. And here we go. So you got one part of the cookie with marshmallow, and then the rest doesn't have it. The almond has a very good crunch to it. And again, it's a nice dark chocolatey flavor, and that milk chocolate adds another nice dynamic to it. But it doesn't feel like it quite hits as well as it could, despite it tasting very good and being a nice, unique cookie. I just think the marshmallow could be spread out a bit better. But it's enjoyable, and I think what Crumbl wants you to do is take the whole meat piece and just shove it in your mouth all together. But I just don't think that's a logical thing to do. That's just hard to do with a fourth of a cookie from Crumbl. So for me, I would give this like a 7.5. I think the flavor's good, and I like all the aspects to it, but it does have a hard time fighting off that chocolate flavor. Reese's. There's Reese's. All right, so it's a peanut butter cookie, peanut butter sauce, and Reese's cups throughout the entire cookie. Sorry. This one, I love it quite a bit. I mean, it's delectable, and it's always it's a top rated cookie for me. But we're gonna give it another try. Just the way that it comes together and embraces the Reese's flavor here, it's just something else. It's so rich and salty, but it's got that nice chocolatey sweetness to it. It's like, I really vibe with that. I'm gonna drink my Krispy Kreme coffee real quick. I give it a solid 9 out of 10. Again, it really embraces all the dynamics that a Reese's cup has, and it's quite enjoyable. So very straightforward, very solid cookie, probably the highlight of the week for me, and it usually is any week. So I do like, I think I like peanut butter bar just a tad bit better, and that's why I give this one a 9, but that's just how I see it. All right, confetti cake. This is the sugar cookie that people tend to prefer over, sorry, my mind's kind of, people prefer over pink sugar because it's not got almond. It's a cream cheese icing on a sugar cookie. So it's straightforward, and people love it. It's so sweet that I'm going to go ahead and break it into a smaller piece while I'm at it. I'm just going to break the whole thing into 8s. I don't know why I don't do that all the time. I ought to, but, you know, that's just life. All right, I'm on a sugar rush right now. It's a very straightforward cookie. It's just a sugar cookie with cream cheese icing. And all the basic, you know, flavor lovers out there, they'll like it. I know there's a lot of people out here that go to Crumbl so much. Yeah, I know. You can do without that. But it's still solid for what it is. And usually I float around like a 7 or an 8. I'm going to give it a 7 today, especially compared to the other 3 flavors. It's not creative by any means. It's just a very enjoyable, sweet cookie. And, you know, it kind of rolls in line with what we've had the past couple weeks with the vanilla, the vanilla cupcake and the golden Oreo. While they have different kind of flavors to them, this is not far off the track from that. And so they've been, you know, rehashing this in a way. But it's still a solid cookie. and it's very pretty. So all those going for the aesthetics, you know, you might want to get this too. So overall, it's a very solid week. I thought I was gonna like the lemon cheesecake and Rocky Road a bit better, but they're still very solid cookies. And at the very least, the Reese's is very, very, very good. And you know, just the uniqueness of lemon cheesecake should probably get y'all running over here to Crumbl. So good job, Crumbl. Always proud to review you guys, and I don't ever look to stop. That I think this is the one thing I can't stop in terms of my channel. With that said, what a weekend. What a weekend. So, you know, there are things that I just struggle with, and I sitting here, I don't want to really go into much detail on it, but you know, it's just been a hard time this whole week. You know, watching just the time just go, and it was such a long week. Like it went slow, and now it's gone. And you know, we're not gonna get the week back, and I just feel like there's things that I've got to work on stepping up in, but I think this whole week has showed me that I've kind of improved on a few things. And so, you know, trying to open myself up a little bit more, really is something I've got to kind of got to approach, and you know, get out of my own way, get out of my own head, because it sucks just looking at yourself or looking at a situation and just saying, I can't do this, but yes, I can. You know, I think just kind of looking at everything that I have struggled with and overcome, that's how I kind of got to look at it. You know, just starting back at square one. So, you know, I'm trying not to go, you know, over 16 minutes here, and we got, you know, a few more minutes to go on that. But I don't know. I'm struggling to kind of grasp at what I'm trying to say. And maybe I need to reflect on that a little bit more and just make a whole direct video on that. But, you know, I guess what I should look at first, and then, you know, kind of before I wrap this up, is, you know, how did I get here? How did I get to doing food reviews? How did I get good at that? You know, it didn't just happen like that. I had people pushing me. So I think that's kind of one of the things that people got to push me. But I had people pushing me to go for it. And then I observed, I studied everything, and I, you know, when I had to apply things, I struggled. I'm not going to lie. I tried to go at it in my own way. Tried to wear sunglasses and I put on this really fake accent. Howdy, welcome back to Rednecks. And I was like, gotta cut the bullshit, right? So, you know, there's been trials and errors on everything. But just to kind of reel that back, and not to hold y'all off too long, but, you know, looking at how did I get there, though? Like, it wasn't just the fact that that was something I was interested in and I wanted to get into. I had to build something, right? I had to start driving. So, you know, you're like, oh, you ain't been driving for a long time. No, I didn't start driving until I was in college, like halfway through college. And there were a few things that motivated me. You know, I'm not gonna lie, there was this girl in college, and I thought she was the best thing ever. I said, if I'm gonna have a shot with her, I better start driving, because she lives XYZ, I live here. And things didn't work out, and that's fine. And that's what I'm still struggling with, is, you know, that aspect, the dating aspect of my life. But, you know, just going from where I started with driving, it was a nightmare. I'm not gonna lie. It was atrocious. And you know, one of the people I feel like that pushes me to succeed a little bit more, because of the way that they challenge me, of the way that they give me a hard time. I would say my brother pushes me, you know, he pushes against me, and that causes me to push back and say, no, you're wrong. He's always been wrong, in my opinion, and I tend to prove him wrong a lot. So, you know, when I told him, you know, let's learn how to drive, he rode with me. He cursed me. He said I'd never be able to learn how to drive. That summer, I did a lot of it on my own little drives. I started watching everybody I rode with. Got my license. Self-taught. And that's kind of how I feel like that's where I am, is that I'm self-taught, self-motivated. I have to do it myself. And so, you know, one more example, I guess. And this one's a little bit more personal in a way. So don't get mad at me. Don't say, oh, wow, that's not professional talk about. Some people got mad at me for talking about this early in the video. So I guess if you're here, you're here. You're watching. You know, I was reckless with my drinking. You know, when I was a little bit younger. Well, that long ago, but... And it, you know, it's crazy because I did some really stupid things. But it took something really embarrassing for me to decide, you know, the way I acted that night, it can't happen again. So I said, I'm going to stop drinking for a whole year. I'm going to look at how people are having fun when they drink, how they act, what's the best way to go about it. And I'm going to be at peace when I get back to that. And so, you know, it was hard. It was hard having to say, no, I'm not. I can't drink. But I'll hang out. We'll have a good time. I'll hang out. And so, got back into drinking. And there's been a few moments. No, everybody has those moments. But there's not been anything dramatic. There's not been this thing where I cause a scene, where I cause problems. I've really calmed it down. I've really matured in my drinking, and I have a fun time, and I make sure to be conscious of everybody else. So, you know, does that kind of hold me back in a way? I would say in a little bit, it keeps me from being completely open in a way. There's things I want to talk about or want to do, and I just tell myself no. I act like sober me. So, you know, just seeing myself be able to learn, you know, and it sounds like I'm talking about a whole lot of nothing, because I'm not hitting at what I'm trying to get to. But I'm trying to wrap this up the best I can. I'm just, how do I open up to people, I guess, is maybe the biggest thing. How do I show people what I want? How do I make better connections, I guess, is a good thing to maybe ask. Which I didn't even, coming into this part of the video, I didn't even think, okay, this is my issue. But now that I'm reflecting even more, I think I realized that's the biggest issue here. It's not just a specific, okay, I have an issue where I don't know how to approach dating. It's not just that. It's everything. Like, if I want to go to a party, I got to ask the right people who are throwing the party. I can't be asking, other people that are going to that party. So I think I just realized, how do I open up more? And then I guess, how do I be a little bit more conscious of what's going on? Because I feel like maybe I'm not completely conscious of some things that I feel like I am. So how do I be more conscious, I guess? With that said, we went a while. With that said, I've got one more question. And this might be a blind observation from the other night, because I was very deep into my own thoughts. But if someone says goodbye to you more than once, like, it's not like they're looping around all that stuff. It's like, I think they intentionally say goodbye more than once. So you say goodbye, and then they come back around and they say goodbye again. Am I supposed to make some type of move based on that? Is there some expectation that I do something other than say goodbye? Because I'm just sitting here wondering, and I overthink a lot of things, and I think it's probably me being stupid, and it probably didn't even happen. I'm probably just tricking myself into thinking I got told goodbye twice. But are you supposed to do something other than say goodbye? That's my last question. That's how I'm gonna wrap it up. So I just talked a lot, and I might lose some viewers, I might lose some subscribers, but I just thought I'd just, open up to you guys, because it has been a long week. The weekend was a very long weekend, and while I did have a good time, I think I also struggled. So yeah, so other than that, I promise you we ain't gonna have no more soap operas. I told you guys, I gave you the review, and I told you guys you can split off if you wanted to, but if you stayed, you stayed. So yeah, that's my review and my soapbox talk. And other than that, I will see y'all around. Yee!